The wonderful thing about boxing is that when you're just fed up and frustrated with the sport, all it takes is one great fight to restore your faith in the sweet science. So let's all take a deep breath and forget about last weekend's card at the Barclays Center, shall we? Because following up what might be the most underwhelming card we'll see all year on premium cable, Showtime is bringing what could turn out to be the most exciting card, top to bottom, that we'll see in 2014. In the main event, Shawn takes on Kell Brook in a matchup between two top 6 welterweights. It's the kind of fight that we rarely see in modern boxing, where the strategy all too often is to protect the fighter and then roll the dice in a big money fight. In this case, we have two fighters who could have played the waiting game for a pay-per-view fight, but will instead face one another to see who really deserves to take that step. Porter has burst onto the Mayweather Sweepstakes over the past year thanks to a pair of dominant wins over Devon Alexander and Paulie Malignaggi. He's likely leapfrogged Brook in profile, who has long been thought of as a potential major player at 147 for the foreseeable future. They're both undefeated, and they both come with similar question marks attached. It wasn't long ago that Porter was struggling to a draw with Julio Diaz. Roughly around the same time, Brook nearly lost to gatekeeper Carson Jones, but escaped with a disputed decision. In one another, they will encounter things that the scouting reports say will trouble them. Against Alexander and Malignaggi, the explosive Porter was able to find an entry point and leap in, thanks to their more passive styles and tendencies to give ground. Brook much prefers to stand his ground and will actively use his right hand to deter his opponent. There's also the question of how impressive the Malignaggi win in particular really was. Porter had never shown wrecking ball power like that before ever in his career. It is possible that that fight was more about Paulie's hourglass running out than about Porter's time as a star-quality fighter beginning. Brook, meanwhile, had a world of problems with a stout pressure fighter in Jones who forced him to backpedal and fight at a torrid pace. Though their styles aren't exactly identical, in stature and in philosophy, Porter will be bringing many of those same problems on Saturday night. This fight likely won't be an immediate springboard for either fighter to a Mayweather payday. A Porter-Keith Thurman matchup is more probable in the immediate future, and Brook can force the issue on a domestic super fight with Amir Khan if he so chooses. But fights like this one on Saturday night, and the ones in the horizon in its wake, show that this is a pretty good era of welterweights that we're in right now. We just need to get them in the ring with one another a little bit more often.